How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Brad and you're watching Firewood at the Furnace. If it's your first time here, you're here kind of at a milestone. This is video number 100 that the channel has put out. If you discount all the shorts videos and the live streams. As far as our weekly videos go, this is video number 100. So you're here at kind of like a milestone type time. So welcome to the channel, and if you wouldn't mind hitting subscribe and clicking the bell to get notifications when we post new content, I would certainly appreciate that. So what's in store today is that we've got more deliveries. The deliveries are continuing, and we're going to tackle a question that I posed to you in last week's video as far as how I'm going to load this wood. I'm tossing everything in by hand now, and I asked for some feedback from you all, which you gave me, and I'm very thankful for. But I think I might have an idea as to how I'm going to solve this problem. I'm also going to do some custom added value for my customer today, and we'll talk about that when we get there. So stick around and come along today. All right, so I will still be loading this delivery by hand, and I will continue to be loading by hand until equipment shows up that I can use to solve this problem. So we might as well get into that right now. What I think I'm going to try to do is I'm on the hunt for an affordable hay elevator, like the farm elevators for hay and grain that they use to raise the farm bales up to the hay loft in the barns. There's a lot of those around, but a lot of them seem to be pretty rusted out, rotted out, so a decent one's hard to find. I also want to find something that's fairly affordable. So I'll search for that deal, and when it shows up, we'll try that out. But I'm thinking that not only will I be able to use it to load my trailer for deliveries, but I'll also be able to use it to load my trailer coming right off the splitter, because as you know, I'm splitting everything pretty much stationary at the front of the yard now to keep from having to move the splitter around and move logs around, kind of centralize that splitting area. And then when I load the trailer, I just take the trailer to where I'm going to be stacking it and stack right out of the back of the trailer. So that's my plan. I think I'm going to have multiple uses for that, and if I can find one at a decent price that's in decent shape, I think that's going to be my next move. So you tell me what you think about that. But anyway, I'm going to load a face cord of ash, a face cord of oak, and then we're going to go all the way to the front of the pile and grab a face cord of maple and deliver one cord to a returning customer from last year. So let's get started. Some of you noticed on last week's video that my brake light was out on the right side on the trailer. I haven't repaired that. It just should be working now, but it just seems to be however I plug the plug into the truck. Depends on whether that right side light works or not. When it doesn't work, I jiggle the plug a little bit and then everything's good. So keep an eye on that. Alrighty. So I've kind of been scouring the internet looking at the different options for these hay elevators, and it seems like they vary in price anywhere from $400 or $500 all the way up to $2 grand for these old, rusted, chains broke, paddles missing hay elevators. There's different drive mechanisms. Some of them are powered by electric, some of them are powered by a gasoline motor, and other ones are PTO driven. Obviously I would want a gas powered one because I don't have electric down here in the yard, and I don't have anything to drive the PTO. So when I'm looking for things like this, I try not to get in a hurry. I try to just sit back and watch and wait for what's meant to be. I don't want to rush it and buy something I don't really want or pay too much. So I normally just sit back and wait, and if something comes up, I'll grab it. So it's probably not something you're gonna see real soon here, but it's something on my radar. So let me know what you think about those. I know some of you out there use those for elevators. They make firewood specific elevators that are much more expensive, but built specifically for firewood. So I've read that sometimes wood and bark can get caught up underneath the chain and get bound up in the sprocket, and then it's kind of hard to get free again. So I don't know, it's just an idea that I think might be my next step in this loading process, and we'll see where it takes me. I'll speed you up, we'll get this cord loaded. It's a fairly local delivery, and I will show you what we're doing to add value to the customer that I should have done last year, but didn't have the knowledge of their situation until I got there. That's 2/3 of a cord right there. 1/3 ash, 1/3 oak, and the last third we're going to grab from all the way up front, 1/3 of maple to give us one full cord. We'll get that loaded and get on the road. Okay, so I mentioned earlier to you about adding some value for my customer. I try to do this with all customers because, just like Andrew Easton says, I'm not just selling a product, I'm selling the quality and I'm selling my service as well. So customers are paying me a price that you might assume is just for the firewood, but it's actually for the quality of the firewood and also for my service. So this customer ordered from me last year, and when I got there I realized they did not have a rack to stack their wood on. They pay me to stack their wood every year, and they didn't have a rack, so they just wanted to stack it on the ground. I asked them if they had anything that we could put it on. They didn't. They said they always just put it on the ground, so that's what I did. That didn't sit well with me, and it's something that's been on my mind ever since. So this year I'm going back to that same house, going to stack the same amount of wood, but I'm going to take a couple pallets with me. And I'm going to stack their wood on pallets for them. That's going to keep the bottom of that wood much nicer, keep it from wicking up moisture out of the ground, keep that wood from getting rotten, and just give them an overall better experience. And that's part of the service that I'm going to provide. The reason I believe that is because every time I go to a customer and I hand them one of these business cards, my name is attached to that. And my name means something to me. That's how I was raised. My father and my grandfather, my uncle, my cousins even, we all take a lot of pride in our last name, and we try to do the right thing all the time. That pride that was instilled in me as a young man probably kept me out of a lot of trouble growing up, just because I was worried about what it would do to our family name. But that's just a sense of pride that was instilled in me, and anytime I'm going to attach my name to something, I'm prideful about it. So in addition to that, something new that I'm doing this year when it comes to customer service is for every cord of wood that somebody buys, if they buy at least a cord of wood, it takes me about 5 or 10 minutes, and I'm providing them with a bundle of kindling. Very simple process. It's just scraps from the splitter. I put them in a bin down there, one of the IBC totes. They dry all season long. It's a way for me to get rid of them, and just a little bonus for my customer. So that's the quality of service that you get with me, and just an idea for you if you're delivering wood, some things to think about that I've learned along the way. Last year I missed the boat on this. This year I'm going to make right by it. So let's get in the truck, we'll head up the road, get this wood delivered and stacked. All right, so here we are all stacked up. I brought a couple pallets this time to get the wood up off the ground. So we got it stacked up in there. It's the same spot we stacked it yesterday. We went a little higher than 4 feet so we could get it all in there. We did have to step down off the one pallet here. But there's a cord of wood delivered. She'll be taken care of for this winter. But while I was here, she told me that once fall gets here, the leaves come off the trees. They had a cherry tree back here in their yard fall, and she said that I'm welcome to it. So I took a walk back here to see what it was. And it's a really nice straight log down here of good wild cherry. So I probably won't get all the limb wood that's buried up in there, but I will definitely come back and cut up this stem of cherry. So we're all emptied out, another delivery completed. Very happy with the pallets and the free bundle of kindling. So we're gonna get in the truck and head on out. Well, that's another delivery down and another satisfied customer, hopefully. To keep warm this winter. Well, they don't really use their insert to keep warm. They use it kind of for supplemental heat. But she really likes to sit around the fire. She's already excited to get a fire going. As soon as the weather cools off just a little bit more, she's really anxious to get a fire going. So that's exciting. And yeah, so you saw the stack of wood there. Her husband helped me stack it, so it went fairly quickly. And it's the end of the day. So I think it's time for me to have a cold refreshment. Beer fridge is right here behind me. And that's going to be it for today. So I hope you all have a great week. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.